Good morning, folks. Welcome to Ontario on another beautiful winter's morning. Just listen to the birds singing. Oh yeah, and my neighbor shoveling her driveway. It's another beautiful day in Ontario. And today, folks, we're going to harvest the last 5 of the remaining significant ash trees we have around our place here. They've all succumbed to the emerald ash borer, and when we peel the bark back, the amount of tracks underneath where the insects, where those beetles have bored in and eaten underneath the bark and killed the tree, there must have been a lot of them, that's for sure, because the tracks are everywhere. Well, I'm going to lay all these trees down that direction, hopefully. Maybe not that little one over there. And then we'll start old Betsy the tractor up. We'll bring her around and we'll pull them out and we'll keep as much of this mess off the yard as we can and over by the wood pile. Well, if all goes well, I'm going to lay tree number 2 across this one. I think I'm going to get rid of some of these limbs just to make it a little easier. If all goes well, number 2 will lay on the first one. When you're working with dead timber like this and it doesn't have the exact lean or the branches in the right way to put the weight where you're hoping for the tree to go, sometimes things give us little surprises. The wedge, or the hinge I should say, when we cut our notch, the hinge that we leave can be very brittle and it can break instead of bending like a true hinge would and give it some direction. We'll see what happens. With the placement of the weight, that tree didn't want to go. Look at how little I had left. Probably less than an average of a hinge, 3/4 of an inch thick. Oh well, it went where we hoped it would go. I think I'll just leave that one like that for now, and we'll tackle number 3. This tree is definitely leaning the wrong way and got some branches on the wrong side. So I'm going to nip off a couple of limbs to take a few pounds off this side, because every little bit helps. And I grabbed a couple of wedges just in case. Better than I thought. Thank you, Father. Alrighty, that's 3 here, 4, and 5, and we're done on this side. It is such a beautiful day. As I stand here right now and I look up, little pieces of snowflakes are falling off those white spruce there and catching the sun. on their way down. Oh, it's beautiful. What a gorgeous day. All the trees that you see around here are trees that we've planted. And this row of white spruce along here, my father-in-law planted the year we bought the farm, and I would say that's 33 years ago. All these ash I planted, the little spruce, the white pine, the white cedar at the end there I planted. And I don't want to damage any of the trees that we've cared for, and they've made it. So I'm going to try and lay this ash down in between the white spruce, the little one on the left, and that black walnut on the right. Well, we were close. Hopefully we didn't do much damage to the spruce. Wow, that emerald ash borer sure has been destructive. Well, here we go. Tree number 5. And I'm going to try and lay it out there in the field. I'm going to walk and get my wedges. It doesn't want to go. Be right back. Isn't it amazing the power that a wedge has? Tapped in with a hatchet. Well, that's tree number 5. Oh. I'm gonna trim all these up and then I'm gonna take a walk and let's count the rings of growth on the tree, on each of the trees really, and see how long it took for them to grow and how a little insect, a little invasive insect came and really destroyed all that growth. Oh well, it is such a beautiful day. Oh my goodness, and I am so fortunate, so blessed to be able to be outside here and enjoy this. "20 years old. 20 years ago we planted that tree. Wow, seems like only yesterday. And underneath that line of ash, 12 years ago, there was a beautiful canopy. And my wife had a bridal shower for one of our daughters there. And there was just a massive canopy, and we hung balloons from the trees, and everyone sat out there on a nice summer's day. It was absolutely beautiful. My, how things change. Let's count the annular growth rings on this tree and see when we planted it. I can see 26 rings, and I think there's probably a couple more in the center that are a little disturbed. Wow, 26 years ago. Time sure flies. Tempus fugit. Let's limb this up. Good morning, folks. Welcome back to Ontario on another beautiful winter morning. Well, as you can no doubt see, it's a bit breezy this morning. But we've got a blue sky with some fluffy white clouds. Ah, it's a glorious morning. Yesterday, we had a bit of snow, a lot of wind, and some freezing rain, so I am sure thankful for today. Well, over there, we got all 9 of those dead ash laid down. Got them all trimmed up, all the brush off, at least most of it. And I believe I've got them positioned so I can pull them over and drop them at the wood pile, so We'll leave most of the mess from cutting them into rounds over at the wood pile. So I'm going to start old Betsy, let her warm up, and then we'll go pull a few logs. But I want to explain something. After I start Betsy, you'll notice that I'm going to put the winch into neutral. And then I'm going to engage the hydraulic motor in the winch, and I'm going to leave it running for a little bit. The reason being is these John Deere Mannheim tractors have a closed center hydraulic system, which means as soon as the hydraulic pump reaches operating pressure, which really it happens on the starter motor if it's turning over at any speed, it quits pumping oil. So that means, because it's a common sump, the rear end, the transmission, and the hydraulic oil really stays cold for a long period of time. So I'm going to engage the hydraulic motor on the winch with the winch in neutral so that I push some oil through, and it's going to warm it up a little bit, just enough that takes the edge off for when we start to do some work. Now the top shaft is spinning, the first little part of the transmission shaft, but if we just rely that on to warm up the oil, it takes a long, long time. Let's go over and see how Betsy starts. I plugged her in about an hour ago. I am so thankful to have those logs skidded out without hurting any of the other trees, to have them pushed up against the wood pile, all ready to be blocked and split. It's been another great day, folks. And as you can no doubt see, our weather has changed from a brilliant blue sky with fluffy white clouds. Now it's gray. The breeze hasn't dropped, but the thermometer and the barometer have. The weatherman's calling for some snow tonight, so no doubt we'll wake up tomorrow morning with a fresh white blanket on our beautiful winter wonderland. Folks, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and as always, thanks so much for watching. I look forward to seeing you again on Out of the House with Paul.